responsible for the opportunity gap, and therefore they shouldn't be held to them. Do you guys feel the same way about that, or do you feel like schools can actually do, correct the gap?
Well, I mean, I think hell no, but go ahead.
I say schools have put themselves in a position to make money. So if they put themselves up as the professional, then they know all of the education and all the pedagogy and all of the other social things that need to happen in order to move a child from here to there. Again, if a kid is 5 years old or 6 years old and he can't read in the first grade, the kid didn't come and tell you, hey, you moved me to the second grade. And then, so when you interact with that parent, because of, I mean, again, as long as a parent know that my kid is failing over here, I can just take him down the street and they'll put him in the grade with his age. Then so if all of the schools tighten it up, it's like, no, we have no social promotion policy here. Your kid is going to have to learn this. Then that's going to make the parent buckle down. And that's what it is. It's just too many passes. But again, if you're making tons and tons of money for doing nothing, then why would you? So I often say it's not broken. That's why it's not being fixed.
So yeah, I have to answer. So as a parent, I hold parents accountable. Parents are your first educator. So my work has now shifted, even though I am an educator, because I'm fed up with schools saying they want to close the achievement gap. And I'm actually focusing now on after-school hours, because when I look at the KIPP model, the longer day, the actual achievement is closed with the longer day. And as I see school districts increasing class size again, research already tells us more kids the teacher has to deal with, the less the kids are learning, because you're teaching to the middle. I know that as an ex-teacher. So I think parents need to be trained again as educators, regardless of what is happening at your school. And to Picolia's point about the global market, we are still preparing teachers and principals for the industrial age. As an evaluator, I walk into schools where people are teaching kids math with pen and paper. What corporation do you know will hire you to go and do math on piece of paper? You need Excel spreadsheet. The teachers all have laptops, but the kids are still doing math by hand? What is that? That's insane to me, especially in a market where you're now competing with people like me for jobs. So, yeah.
And I say, hell yeah, schools are responsible. And this particularly in San Francisco, if you go and stand outside of Harvard, school right up the street, and you ask every parent, where did you graduate from, what's going to be the answer?
I did.
And the second answer, Harvard. Right. So this notion that these are some other parents from someplace else that got educated somewhere else and then came here and didn't know how to parent and didn't know how to take care and educate their own child. These are our childs that have grown up and have more children. I am a child that went through this system, graduated, and has a child. What I know and what I don't know is definitely on my family. But the majority of my time in my little adolescence life and below was in school.
And what you also know is every last one of them teachers is still working.
Precisely a good point. They are. They fear me as they should. But let's actually have that conversation. This is a very big thing that I always tell parents. I'm like, yes, you are responsible for your child's life, but you went through this same system. So you're also now responsible to recognize the system didn't educate you and it didn't educate your child. So what are you going to do about it? That's the organizing moment, right? The organizing moment is we doing something about it. Join us. No, I'm not here to save you. I'm not MLK. I'm not Rosa Parks. That's not the way it works. And I'm just going to keep it very real. The organizing moment is you need to choose that you want it to be different. That you don't want your child's child to be coming out the same way, because that's the choice that has to kind of get made. And I think sometimes we don't keep it as real, that we don't actually say that. But let's just be real. We're not flying to New Zealand and then coming back to the U.S. and all of a sudden getting educated. Everybody is staying here. You can move through states, you can move through cities, but the education system is not vastly different from each other. So there is some responsibility, most definitely in the institution, because institutions are the backbone of our society, right? I don't build buildings, I don't drive buses, and I damn for certain could not tell you none of this, not any of this. I need somebody to go to college to learn how to make this happen. The fact that I have a house is a result of someone's education who decided to design the mug and build it and make sure that it does not fall apart when I get home, so I can sleep and get up and do my job. So let's be real that that is the function of government. It's the function of a society. Otherwise, we'd be a third world country, right? The lack of organization. So in that framework, you cannot say it's not anyone's responsibility. It's the responsibility of us to be able to say, if we see a youngster on the street, get your ass to school, period. If you don't, you're saying, with my permission, you're gonna go off and you can't even finish it. So that's my response to that.